Hi guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another video on Conqueror's Blade. So today we're going to be doing something that I actually did probably about 6 months ago last time, and that is going to be taking out just a standard warband build. If we go and have a look, got my paladins, my namcans, and my the new upgraded yeoman lancer unit. Largely because I'm just trying to get some footage on them, so that's why they happen to be in the warband build at the moment. But it means we've got an infantry, an archer, and a cavalry unit. And I'm just going to go and record one battle, a blank battle. I'm not going to talk over it while I record it. I'm just going to play, do my best, and then we're all going to go and basically take a real critical look at the game. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Where could I improve? What mistakes did I make? I think by now I'm a decent player, largely just due to the amount of experience I've had playing the game. But I've still got a lot to learn, and I still make a lot of mistakes. So this is a really good opportunity for both myself to try and be critical of my own gameplay, but also for you guys to sort of tell me where I'm going wrong, particularly the more experienced players. Where can I improve my gameplay? What are the key mistakes I'm making, be it on my hero or my unit placement or just map positioning? So yeah, I'm going to go and record this battle now. Fingers crossed it's not Orgolia, because I really don't want to have another battle on Orgolia. So fingers crossed for another map, and hopefully it actually goes half decently. So I shall see you all in the battle. So, as we spawn in, I'm always a little bit at a loss of what to do as a sort of solo melee player. If I was kind of in my team, maybe considering ladders would be a viable option, but I think at this stage as a solo player there's not a lot I can do. And so I just get on an artillery and start trying to counter some of the enemy artillery on the walls. Always a little bit of a nerving map to do this on White Elk, because they've got the double ballistas set up right in the middle, and it is very easy to get yourself headshot and killed. And rack up a death right at the start of the battle that you really don't need. So yeah, you've got to try and avoid that. So I'm just trying to put fire in on this enemy artillery. Obviously got a very nice opening shot and we're able to hit the enemy artillery on the first go. But there we go, we managed to take it down. Then at that point, not really a lot else for me to realistically shoot at, so I just decide to kind of focus my efforts on blasting down the wall. I probably won't take advantage of the breach, but at least it gives the team as an option if it actually gets taken down. I actually just cut out the rest of that because I just shot it for about a minute and it was pretty dull. So with the wall down and the siege towers having just landed, I'm bringing my Martellatori, which is what I spawned with, and I'm just going up the siege tower. Arguably I could have brought better units at this point from the start, and I think, as you'll see, I kind of regret not bringing better units. I guess I always feel a bit nervous about bringing something too good and getting myself killed in an initial push. But as we come up, we manage to clear out the top of the walls, but then a unit of enemy stalwarts turns up. Okay, I'm thinking, are they going to keep pushing up? And they do. They go on for a flying reaper. Not particularly helpful, but wasn't quite sure what else to do, and at least it gets it on cooldown. And their teammate puts a treb in. Okay, nice treb positioning. Wipes out pretty much the bulk of the stalwart, along with a few Martellatori. A few innocent Italians were killed. But that really clears the way. And since I've only got serfs, and the rest of the team really has as well, it allows us to be quite aggressive. The poor glaive just got overwhelmed by units there, and so he couldn't roll out. And I then push on with my Martellatori onto the enemy Pavis. I think this was a good move. It really enabled us to overwhelm the Pavis quite quickly. And, okay, the Martellatori is going to die now, but realistically we've just killed a Golden Era unit, a 300 plus leadership unit, and that is well worthwhile. And there we go, another unit of Pike Militia just got eliminated as well. And actually, we've got quite a lot of stuff mounting on the A point already, and the rest of the team is actually turning up now with sort of half decent units. This is kind of where I wish I had a unit. You always get caught, I find I get caught in the situation here of, do I now go back? I could go out the open gateway and get a fresh unit, get my paladins, get something like that, get a decent unit. Or do I stay around as a hero now and be less useful but try and use my hero to try and keep the point clear? And I sort of try to focus down some of the enemy heroes, but then as we kind of get overwhelmed, get myself killed. I'm not sure that was worthwhile. I wonder if I would have been better off at that point pulling back to the supply point. But I think that's kind of a difficult decision. So then at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got my archers, and, if you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you'll know I'm really not much of an archer player. But on this map, if you can get them on the left side of the siege tower, I'm pointing at the screen, which I don't know why, because you can't see me. But if you put them on the left side siege tower, you can really rain down on all the enemy stuff that's sort of covering the A point. But, you know, I've just had a look on the tactical map. I can quite clearly see there's not a lot of stuff allied-wise on this side. Not a lot of stuff to protect me. And I know this, and I knew this at the time, and yet I still went there. Which I can't quite, in hindsight, think why. I think I just thought, oh, well, we're putting quite a bit of pressure on A. Maybe they won't notice or something like that. So there's already a unit of allied archers up here. And you can see what I mean about the positioning. It's a nice position. And I think it's one of the few cases where archers are genuinely useful for pushing a point. I think, by and large, archers tend to do more harm than good. You know, you'd be better off with a good melee unit than an archer. But in this case, I think it is actually a good spot. But a couple of things happen now. Firstly, we get flanked by an enemy unit of Namkhans, which I can't seem to just get fire on. But at the same time, we start to get pushed by some enemy heroes. But while I'm being shot at by the enemy Namkhans, I'm sort of getting overwhelmed because I'm trying to deal with focusing on these, but I'm also trying to look at the staircase because I know there's stuff coming, which is why I'm continually sort of pulling myself back. Then at this point, I realise I'm screwed here now. You know, we've got 5 enemy heroes. I'm just trying to get as many of them pinned down as possible in front of the Namkhans, so they get as long as possible to do damage. I'm just trying to buy them time, which, you know, realistically doesn't pan out. Get myself killed. Very, very silly move, really. I think that was entirely preventable, because we saw at the start, you know, when I was respawning, hey, we got the kill. when I was respawning with the Namkhans, that there was no allied support there, and yet I went on my own with archers. That was a really silly move. Yeah, no real good excuse for that. I should know better than that. But anyway, Namkhans are dead, and we're now thinking about what we're going to do next. Obviously, I'm going to respawn, and I'm thinking about respawning with my paladins. We still don't have the A point, but we are pretty close, and we have got a reasonable amount of pressure on them now. It's not going to take much for us to cap it. So, using a heavy infantry unit like the paladins really might be able to help me sort of push through and on to point. I should have perhaps in hindsight gone through the gateway here. It's obviously the quickest way to the A point, but the downside to it, I feel like, is you can't really see the situation before you arrive. I don't know at this point how close we are to capturing it, but then we go and capture it, you know, before I get on the scene. But by going up on the walls here, I can effectively survey the situation before I push in with my paladins, because this is the last good heavy infantry unit I have with me, so I don't want to throw that away. So that's kind of why I went up onto the walls and looked down, rather than just coming straight through the gateway and kind of into the unknown. But with that gone, I'm now thinking about where we're going to go next. So I decided to push straight up the centre. There's quite a bit of enemy stuff still on that supply point, or there was at least at this point in time, so I'm thinking that maybe if I can just push straight up the centre and go left, then I can effectively outflank and trap anything that's still stuck on that supply. We see a few Martellatori. I get shot by a random musket. But there's actually a lot of the stuff gets itself killed on the supply, and there's really not that much that retreats. As I push around, I'm kind of looking. Don't even get the kill on the Martellatori. Very disappointing. We get hit by, I think that's a Sipahai. And then we get some Sipahais coming this way. You know, because they're not really a charging cav, I counter-charge them, and it actually kind of works. But, you know, we kill the few that are directly in front of us, because I think counter-charging them was a better move than waiting for them to get in amongst me and then using their trample, because that's when they get that bigger AoE damage. So by counter-charging them, you're going some way to sort of negating their abilities. It works with paladins at least anyway. So we're pushing up. I'm trying to kind of wait to get push around this corner, trying to push into all this stuff here. You know, particularly this full unit of paladins. We have enough to overwhelm them here, and I just want to try and get the kills. Unfortunately, a teammate goes for a treb, really badly positioned treb, because it really stops our push when we have the overwhelming advantage, and it allows those enemy units to pull back and regroup. And it was a really frustrating treb. And you see someone said in the chat, worst treb ever. It was quite a bad treb because it really put an obstacle in our way. And it's much easier, I find, if you can defeat enemy units, you know, in smaller groups, rather than letting them pull back into one big cluster like this. But anyway, we get round the corner. Those paladins are still there. I go for the charge. I stopped the unit from charging through too far, and I pulled them back, because I was nervous that the unit was going to push through you know, charge through, and then half of the unit was going to end up, you know, in amongst a huge group of enemies, and I was going to be there on my own. I did spot those Iron Reapers on the right before they charged, so I kind of just go in and put my focus on them. I think that was probably the right move. You know, Iron Reapers aren't a huge threat, but they do have a damaging charge, so they're good to try and avoid. And at this point, I notice I've got 6 seconds left on my charge cooldown, and that full unit of Fortebraccios, realistically, I just wanted the kills. I was being greedy. I was thinking, ooh, this could be nice. So I get myself into a nice position, line myself up, and of course, Paladins just absolutely smash into them, completely flatten the unit of Fortebraccio, and go to work on all the Namcans behind. I think that was exactly the right thing to do in that situation. I think I played that one well. We're able to get, you know, sort of 60 odd kills in one charge and stab. Really, and we've only lost, what, 6 or 7 units of Paladins. We've got our healing cooldown has basically come back off, so I can take advantage of that. And I'm now kind of looking for my next opportunity. And it seems like we've cleared a lot of the point out. So I think that's kind of a good thing now for me to try and push through. I always kind of feel like this is a hard situation to decide what to do. Do you defend the point in case someone comes through the gate to the right or from behind? Or do you try and push up and beyond the point in an effort to then basically stop reinforcements from reaching the point? Well, I pushed through with the unit anyway. They do a fairly decent job. They flatten, I think, a bow hero behind who was a bit unlucky and got in the way. And basically the unit is now out of my control. It's kind of the downside, is all I can do is leave them to do their thing. Paladins, thankfully, are a good unit for this, and they sort of disrupt a lot behind, and you can see what I mean by stopping enemy reinforcements. I then get grabbed by a Maul, who just has like an unlimited length of carry. We're just about able to get away with this, but yeah, not such a good move. I'm trying to roll out, and I'm about out of stamina as well, which is frustrating. Means I can't easily get out. I really did want the kill on him, but unfortunately not quite to be, and with my health being so low, I decided not to chase him, which I think was probably the right thing to do in the situation. So we've now about half captured. I've not got a unit, but we have got quite a lot of the team on point, and a lot of the enemy team is dead. I think at this point, right now, I should have gone back and got another unit. I'm kind of doing the same sort of thing that I did on the A point, you know, just sort of hoping that the team's going to be enough, and I can't really contribute all that much. You know, okay, I can sort of hunt down the odd hero. I was having a bit of a Maul hatred at this moment in time. But realistically, you know, if I could have gone back and got my Lancers, got my cavalry, I could have then charged straight down the alleyway, and then there would have really been no chance of enemy reinforcements getting there. Maybe I'd have lost a few extra cap points, and we did win in the end anyway, but realistically, I'm not sure it was the right thing to do, because if I'd have gone back and got my Lancers, I could have really secured that victory. What if a lot of the enemy had respawned at that time? You know, what if 4 units of Paladins had just come round the corner? By not going back to get another unit, I think I reduced the chance of being able to secure that victory. So I think that was probably a bad move kind of at the end, and I should have gone back and got another unit. All in all, not a too bad a game, I don't think. Obviously, the Namcan placement was definitely the big clanger of the whole battle. Really shouldn't have done that, and I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I still did it. I don't know if anyone else finds that they do that. You know what you're doing is a mistake, yet you still seem to follow through with it. I don't know why, but there we go. But yeah, I'd really welcome your guys' feedback. What do you think I did well? What do you think I did badly? Let me know how you think I can improve in the comments down below. And yeah, let's all try and sort of learn, evolve, and improve our gameplay together. Thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you all on the next video.